Variability. How's your night going? Hey, Mustafa. Trying to see if everything's working all right after this update still, because for some reason Twitch is saying my bit rate's unstable, but everything else seems to be fine for some reason. I just thought I'd do a test and see if I can get things working the way they're supposed to be. What do you mean, look who it is? You see me around the last couple of days. Yeah, it could just be a Twitch thing tonight too, Mustafa. I'm not sure what's going on, but so far everything seems to be alright though. Like, I'm not getting any stutters or anything though. Well, yeah, you've been taking a bit of a break. They're dragging forward yet, and then I've been working too, so I've only been home a couple days. Yeah, I think it's just, it might have been when I first started the stream, maybe it was unstable for a few seconds or something, and it just hasn't updated that or something along the lines, but so far it seems to be okay. And thanks for the tier 1 sub trading for you. I wasn't expecting anything like that tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to be on for or anything. I just wanted to make sure all this is working and stuff like that, and so far it seems to be alright. How are your nights going? I'm going to change this to daytime so I can see what I'm looking at. What's wrong with it? Oh, now it's showing excellent. Oh, must have just been for a few seconds or something. Something was going on. Guess I got nothing to worry about now. Oh, yeah. Among other things. But I can't just complain about this sim either right now, though. Even X-Plane's giving me grief lately too, so. Really, that's weird. I haven't been getting that. If I try to climb at 80 knots, whatever, I'm diving right away. Like, it's... I re-downloaded it a couple days ago just in case there was an update that they didn't post or anything for it. And reinstalled it again, and it's been fine for me. I never did get the 750 for X-Plane because I hated how you couldn't update it. Unless you wanted to spend a lot of money and get an account with Garmin for it, but it seems pointless for a sim. Did you try reinstalling the Arrow in MSFS at all, or have you re-downloaded? Have you downloaded it lately too, or is it see if there's been any kind of an update or anything like that? Hey, Airbus 737. Good evening or good morning. I've never even tried a 750 in this sim yet either. As far as add-ons go, this is the only add-on I've gotten so far. See, that's weird. I haven't been having any problems with the arrow. I think the arrow's the one plane I haven't had an issue with, and I mean, so far since this update. Yeah, the same with me too, readability. This is the one plane that I think hasn't given me grief yet. The only thing I notice is that if you try to try to use controls there, or the fan and the heat and stuff like that, those don't do anything, but other than that, everything else is working, and it's not for me. But if I try to fly the Baron, it patches right away when I'm trying to load into it. At least it did before the patch this morning. Huh. Actually, I don't even think I tried the 172 yet. I tried the float plane version of the 172, but that's it though. And I think that was a couple days ago when I tried that one, and I can't remember who I was flying with. It might have been Conti, actually. The Carinado arrow. I haven't even tried that one yet either. That's weird. I wonder why. I'm pretty sure CCM even has the Steam version too, and I have the Steam version, and it's... But I pretty well have luck after every update though. Like every update that that's come out so far until this one, I've never had a sim crash or anything. This is the first one that I've had it crash, and it was a couple times the first day that it did. And I think it might have been when I was trying the Baron, but I haven't tried the Baron yet since the patch this morning though. But every update that's come out for this though, for this sim so far, I've never had an issue with it for some reason. But it's like I said though too, I never had any add-ons until I downloaded this plane and or until I bought this plane. And then actually the Orbex mesh for Iceland also is the only other thing I have on this. I don't know, I kind of have opinions about how these planes fly to me. They all kind of fly like a Cessna still. I've even heard people say that about the DC-6 too, but I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to except for X-Plane or P3D though, so every one of them is going to be different, and I don't know what it's like for compared to realistic handling compared to a real plane, because I've never gone flying in a GA aircraft or anything yet. I plan on doing it one day, but not yet though. Probably went too far for a second. I forgot that I haven't been paying attention to where I got to turn or anything like that. I'll go one day. I'll go up and fly with someone or whatever and see if it's something I'm interested in doing and stuff like that, but so far not yet though. one thing I did notice with the update since this came out as well too is I tried setting a lot of my settings in the sim instead to see how my frames were instead of using all the settings in the NVIDIA control panel, and I still find having some of the settings in the NVIDIA control panel to be more stable than in the sim as well too. So I find it smoother that way. I was actually getting stutters and a little bit of stutters after the update. But I was getting them before as well too, though. But I think this whole update is kind of just to play with numbers more than anything. I think their whole thing about saying how they optimized it so that the performance is better is all they did is cut back on some of the graphics settings, and I think they're hoping that people aren't going to notice. I think that because they're getting higher frames, everything's good, even though I don't think that's the case, because I've noticed when you're looking at the ground that a lot of my, what do you call it, auto-gen's not drawn out as far anymore, and I think that's where they cut back on it. Get that higher frame rate. Hey Dreamer 1969. How's your night going? Yeah, even Conky made a comment about it the other night too, and I asked, and when he said that in his stream, I'm like, oh, so I was starting to think I was the only person that was seeing that, but I guess I'm not the only person. Even you are seeing it too, which I had a feeling that's what it was going to be, that they're going to cut back on something, because they probably wanted, their whole thing about saying that they optimized it is probably more, they optimized it to work with the Xbox as well too, so that was their way to get it smoother on there, was to cut back on it, and because of course they cut back on that, they cut back on the PC version too. That's good that you're not bad. I'm alright there too. Dreamer 1969, just doing some testing, making sure all this stuff's working after the update. Probably won't be on long, but thought I'd give it a go just to make sure though, so that if I want to start doing my other flights that I've been trying to do, I'm all set for that again. Yeah, pretty much Dragon 40th. See, it's like even there, like I'm only at 9,500. Actually, no, I'm not even climbing still. I leveled off, but I didn't. So I'm at 11,500 feet right now, and normally I would have seen more in the way of trees down there and stuff like that, but farther out, like you can see the trees there, but as soon as you look there where my mouse pointer is, it looks like there's no trees at all. And before you would see trees a little bit farther out, but yeah, they turned it down. They had to have turned it down, because it's not like they've done any updates as far as DirectX 12 or anything yet either, so that's not where they got it from. Skipper Jeff. How's your night going? Yeah, I had a couple. I mean, I haven't had any yet today either. The only crashed desktops I've had so far is on the first day that it came out, and I think it was every time I was loading into the Baron, it did it. But I think a lot of these crashed desktops are also being caused by the add-ons not being updated yet, and it's the same thing that's happening in X-Plane too and P3D, like where some of the stuff wasn't updated yet. The update came out for the sim, and there was compatibility issues, and then eventually after a couple days, whatever, they got their updates out and patches or whatever for their stuff, and then it was fine again after that. But I hear there's other problems though. Dragon 40, like Dragon 40, if it's same for him or whatever, it's the flight dynamics for some reason are messed up for him. He was saying that CCM is locked out of the sim right now for some reason, which is, I've never heard of that issue before. That's a new one. I'm thinking it must be an issue with the servers or something, maybe not recognizing that he owns it or anything, and it's trying to get him to buy it again or something maybe, but I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate and guess on it because I haven't looked anything up to see what it is. Yeah, my name is Scott. That nickname, Scotty Too Hottie, is just another supervisor at work that calls me that all the time. So it was the first thing that I could think of when I signed up on Twitch, because every other nickname that I used for anything else or whatever was already taken. So it was the only thing I could think of at the moment, and I haven't changed it at all. So I'm not going to leave. So I'm just going to leave it. No, I'm not Scottish. If anything, my dad is English. My dad is from England. So, but I was born in Canada though, so I'm just Canadian. I'm not sure if I'm going to catch the Hope NDB by the time I get to 98 DME off this BOR, but we'll see. If not, I'll just make a right-hand turn to head in 164 and fly that way. But yeah, I'm not Scottish. Closest thing would be British maybe, but that's it. And I'm not British. My dad was, my younger sister, or my older sister was, but when you talk to her, you would never know though, because my family moved over here when she was so young that she never held the accent. My mom was Canadian too. My dad was from England. He came over here and met her, and then they moved over there for a bit, and then came back. Dragon 40, do you know what's going on when CCM is locked out? Like, is he getting any kind of an error message at all or anything like that? What part of England are you from, Skipper Jeff? Originally? I think my dad is from Birmingham and Tamworth, that area. Oh yeah. I haven't been there for a long time. I think the last time I went over there was, I had to have been in grade 8, I think. Or not grade 8. Actually, it would have been, my dad went when I was in grade 8 because my grandpa passed away then, but I would have been in grade 4, I think, actually, when we went the last time. So that would have been early 90s anyways. I was hoping to go quite a few years ago when my dad was around, when my dad was alive still, because I wanted to take him on a trip one last time to go see my relatives over there too, but didn't get a chance for that. And I've been meaning to go over again still too, but then with COVID and everything this last year and a half has made that impossible. And I would have been able to finally now as far as money goes to be able to get a plane ticket and stuff, but still planning on going at some point. How long has it been? I mean, or so where do you live now then? Are you in the US or something? Or are you in another somewhere else altogether now? Oh yeah. Do you miss the UK at all? I know my dad said he missed it a little bit, but he said he would never move back though after living here though. Actually, you know what? We might be picking up that NDB already. I'm picking it up. Yeah, I think my dad was the same way. He was happy being over here with my mom and stuff like that and that was one reason why he never wanted to go back. And then plus, yeah, that's here too, whatever. So that was another reason why he didn't want to go back that way either. Oh, we got turned now. It's a little bit over, but not too far though. How do you like Maryland? I've never been there yet. But the only places I've been to down in the States or states would have been Washington, Oregon, North Dakota, Colorado. Actually, no, I've never been to Colorado. It would have been Montana and Idaho and New York State because I remember going to see the Mackinac Bridge when I was younger. Yeah, that was one thing too. I remember being crowded when I was there last time. And even my dad said the same thing too. He said it was a lot more open and kind of not as busy or stressful around here, and that's even the Vancouver area. What do you mean it's alive? You've been talking to me in other streams. I should say the same thing about you. How's it going, Aviator? Or Austin? Are you doing better now? That's good. Hopefully it's only up from there. Nobody speaks English in the summertime. It's all tourists. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, I seen you posted that in Discord that you're gonna stream when you're on Vatsim tomorrow night. I'll have you on at the same time I'm watching Sim. Actually, I guess I would be, yeah, tomorrow night still. It's still Friday night. Oh, it's good that you're getting out of the house. I gotta start doing that too. I haven't gone golfing now in a couple of years actually. I kind of miss going. did go for a hike one day this week, but that was Wednesday for a little bit. But that was only a short hike though. It was an hour up and an hour back down, and that was it. And it wasn't much of a climb either. I was actually going to ask you about that. How's it? How are you? I mean, like, are you finding it harder now to do this kind of stuff with everything being on the computer now? Like, I know when you were doing your old job, you were kind of moving around and doing different stuff in the hospital and stuff like that. But now that you're doing fasting, I mean, or a PE full time or whatever, that's gonna be hard being on the computer all the time like that. That's understandable. I think taking a break and going golfing and stuff is probably one of the better things you could do now. Get out a little bit more now that you're working at home all the time. Instead of having that bit of a break each day when you leave to go to work and then come home and just be home and not actually working at home. So with that being the case, you think you're going to cut back on streaming a little bit then? Oh, right when I asked that, you posted the message at the same time. I don't blame you for that. It's probably a good thing to be doing that so you don't burn yourself out again. What about doing other kind of stuff? I mean, other kind of streams to kind of break it up a little bit too, like how you were doing golf. I mean, how you did golf there a couple times, because at least that would kind of get you away from the aviation kind of stuff once in a while too, instead of it always being ATC or flying or something like that. Oh, that would be why I'm not picking up that NDB. Oh, it's not the only reason. It's funny I was picking it up before, but I'm not now. Oh well. I don't think you. I mean, well, I guess it all depends, but I don't think you would hurt it that much. Like, I think a lot of people would enjoy having a little bit of different stuff. It'd be different, maybe if you're going and doing like GTA RP or something like that, maybe because that'd be like a big change. But I've noticed a lot of flight sim streamers and even people just doing flight sim like to play PGA 2K21 and stuff like that for, and it's kind of weird how the crossover kind of is for a lot of things too, where a lot of flight sim guys do like a lot of this other stuff. But yeah, I could see you want to take the time though and try to figure it out though too, so you feel it out and see what it is that works for a bit of a change and difference, what you're doing and things like that. But I know for myself, it wouldn't matter what you're Yeah. Get with John Fly. I know for myself though, like I pretty well watch anything. If I like the streamer, it doesn't matter what it is, I'll watch it anyways. Except for maybe Sea of Thieves, because I was trying to watch DeLorean do that the other day, and he was bobbing around and all the time, and it kind of makes you emotions watching that. Yeah, I'm sure it's fun, but I I don't know. I guess I'd have to try it before I can say for sure and stuff like that too. But I don't think I would go buy it just to try it once and then never play it again though, like I have done with another couple games. I don't want to become famous. Being famous is probably too hard. Too much work, too stressful. Come to your Twitch, daddy. Funny, I've never had it when it come up two times in a row like that from two different bots. Well, I've never seen it come up like that either. That's the first time I've seen it two in a row. I'm surprised I thought the played some categories pretty dead tonight. There wasn't an F, or no, there was an F&O earlier, wasn't there? Or was there not? I can't remember now. I didn't think so. I think that's why Sim didn't try to talk Dane into doing the stream tonight all that much. Oh yeah. I did notice a lot of streamers were actually doing long streams today, though. Two-Tone Murphy, I think, was on, and he had over a 12-hour stream by the time I think he finished. I don't know if it was a lot of testing for the updated stuff or whether they just wanted to for some reason or what. Oh, yeah, that makes sense then. Charity stuff. How am I climbing again? $15? Holy crap. And it wasn't even across the pond either. Even though no one is in here other than you guys, and we'll do this anyways just in case. Otherwise, I feel bad if I don't. I gotta get in the habit of doing it anyways. But it's not like you guys don't deserve it or anything either, but yeah, it's... I guess I just didn't think about it too much though, because if there's... Well, it's quiet. And everybody here already knows who you guys are, so... I'm sure they're all following. Oh, there we are. Now we're picking up that NDB. What's the longest stream that you've done so far, Mustafa? I know you've done long FNOs, I mean, or not FNOs, long across the ponds, but I don't think I've ever looked to see what your longest one was. Oh yeah. Well, I guess the only time I ever see people really do long streams anyways is when they're doing the charity ones. And even then I can see again after even 4 or 5 hours, I'd imagine it probably starts to get pretty boring and stuff like that, to the point where you just run out of things to talk about and stuff like that too, I'd imagine. You had that one that was... Didn't you have a 6 hour the one night there, Austin? Actually, no, you did have an 8 there too, didn't you? Because I remember... Yeah, that's right. And then me and Amy Ann kept bugging you, whatever, saying that you should do a 24-hour stream, and then that Sim came in and said the same thing too. And just because I'm bugging you to do it doesn't mean I really want you to do it or anything. I mean, don't think I'm pressuring you or anything like that. Just do what you want to do and that's it. I'm gonna just joking around when I say that kind of stuff. No, don't do it. You're just gonna burn yourself out and probably ruin it for yourself. You could probably do a just a regular 4-hour stream, and it would probably still be just as good as trying to do a 24-hour one. And it's not if you ever hit 1K, you'll hit 1K. Look how long it took Sim to get to the 2.3 or 2.4K that he's at now, or actually I can't even remember what he's at now, but it took him a long time to get to that point. I think when I first started watching him, he was at... I think he was at 150 or something like that, and I kept pushing or whatever for people to follow. So he was sing when he hit 200 followers or something like that, and that was when he sang that first song. With that Dane Flats one or something like that, that was when he first did that one. Yeah. I kind of felt bad though when I kept pushing that on him. because he kept saying, no, I don't want to do it, no, I don't want to do it, and then just one day he gave in, he's like, okay, I'll do it. But I think he kind of regrets it a little bit, though. Once in a while, I mean, I think he regrets it, maybe not all the time, but once in a while I think he does, but he still plays it once in a while, too. But I never should have bugged him to do it again a second time, though, when he hit 2,000 follows, though. You guys just kept pressuring him. I was actually surprised when I heard him singing during the New Year's stream. There was actually quite a few of you guys that were, though, that night. Because I think even Kitty Monster was in there singing too. When I watched it a couple times. Yeah. Have you managed to get him in there with your new karaoke streams that you've done? I can't do karaoke. I've tried when I've gone to bars and stuff with friends and things like that, but I can't do it. Nobody wants to hear me sing anyways. It sounds like crap. Oh, I was wondering if you had that figured out or not yet. That was one thing I was actually thinking of when I just asked that question, was whether if you were even able to do it yet or not. It's funny though, you think now that they are saying that these streamers that do covers can stream covers, and then the same thing for doing karaoke, that they would bring back the Twitch things, but just say, okay, well, you can do it, but you got to delete the bot afterwards. Oh, what is on? Have a good night, Austin. See you tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. I should think I'm almost ready to go to bed, but I'm going to finish this flight anyways. I don't think it's too much longer. Well, that's good that my frames are holding out, even though I got them locked at 30 to 32 anyways, but Curious what it actually would be if I didn't have them locked right now. I think I'll keep it like that anyways because I'd rather have a smooth, steady frame rate than have it bouncing around and getting that odd little stutter here and there from it. So Mustafa, how much of DeLorean stream did you watch when he was trying to fly the 727? I was surprised he actually jumped in the X-plane. I didn't think he was going to. No, I didn't. He was having issues with the throttles, I think. And then he couldn't figure out the nose wheel steering either until he realized that he had to have it on an axis because I think he thought that you could have just the rudder set up with his pedals and it would still steer the plane, but I think we had to tell him that the nose wheel steering had to be set up on its own axis too, so you could still steer that way. And then I think after he got that figured out, he couldn't get it to take off. And then when he finally took off, he started climbing, but he couldn't steer the plane. I think he didn't have any control of the ailerons or anything like that. So then he ended up just diving, and that was it. But it was nice to see that he gave it a shot, though, and tried anyways. I think he'll figure it out eventually. It'll be like kind of like how I was with the 737 when I first started flight simming in FSX. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me for a while, and then I finally got to that point after just watching some YouTube videos and stuff too, and figured it out that way. And then watching you guys has helped also. When I found out about Twitch, because I didn't even know Twitch existed till 2019. You've flown the 727 though, haven't you, readability, or have you not touched that one yet? Actually, I think I think Sim asked me the other day too. Or was that Kiri? I can't remember now. You're kind of like me then. That's all I've touched now in the last year is GA stuff. I haven't tried flying an airliner since actually it'd be a little over a year ago. I think it was before Vulcan. I think it was before 11.5 was released for X-Plane or whatever was the last time I touched it. Or touched an airline or Zibo or anything like that, or even the 732 or the Colas. I don't know why. I think it's just I prefer flying these now instead of having to sit there entering your flight plan into an FMC and or McDoon and having to go through setting all that up. I just like being able to hop in this and take off and follow radials, tune in VORs, DMEs, MDBs, all that kind of stuff instead. Yeah, that's what it was like for me. When I've finally figured out how to use Ortho for XP, when I had somebody kind of walk me through it a little bit, I think it would have been spring of 2020, like probably right around the time that we started getting locked down because of COVID and stuff like that. Was right about the time that I finally started figuring out how to do ortho and stuff like that. And that's when I started flying a lot more GA stuff, like even flying just a Cessna and X-Plane and stuff like that, just because it was nice being able to do VFR, actually seeing like where you're at, recognizing certain things and roads and stuff like that. It just made a huge difference. And it made it more enjoyable than just climbing up to 37,000 feet and flying until it was time to start your descent. Your descent. Not that I don't like airliners and stuff still and flying them, it's just I either got to reinstall X-Plane again because it's giving me issues, or wait till the 737 comes out for this. Yeah, Dreamer 1969, have a good night and thanks for stopping by. We'll see you another time. I think I'll probably fly the 737 when it does come out, but it probably won't be as much as I used to fly airliners and stuff like that, but I probably will get in that one once in a while, but I haven't had any desire to get the CRJ or anything like that for this. But yeah, I like doing this though, like even right now, like I know I'm just sitting here letting it fly along this radio and stuff like that, but I like being able to just even hand fly these things a little more too. And ever since this Arrow's come out, it's kind of maybe appreciated GA stuff a little more again too, kind of like how I used to fly this and X-Plane once in a while when it wasn't the Arrow and X-Plane, it was the Warrior and X-Plane, I think it was, and I was flying all the time, but I really like that plane in that sim. I think I gotta download it for this one too at some point. And I went off course a little bit. I get back to where I gotta be. I gotta get better at doing this kind of stuff again too. Hey Peter Mooney, how's your night going? Interesting. That's a Different way to put it. Oh, it's going just like any other night. Just sitting here doing this, or I was watching TV for a bit earlier. I am flying in southwestern BC right now, Mustafa. Just because it was the one area that I knew the NDBs and the VORs and stuff were all working, so I wanted to test that out to make sure that I wasn't having any issues with navigation and stuff also. But yeah, this is the Fraser Valley, kind of just east of Greater Vancouver. So right on the south coast pretty well. It is nice. Be curious to see what it's like when they come out for an update for Canada finally too, compared to how a lot of the areas down in the US look now after that update came out, which was quite a while ago actually, now that I think about it. I think Starflies has flown around here a few times, and then even one of the fly-alongs on Sunday I think was around here too. But I think it might have been more around Vancouver though, but I can't remember for sure. Yeah, Peter Mooney, Western Canada is home for me. I used to be from Saskatchewan, which is where I grew up for 8 years, and then when I was 8 years old is when we moved out here after my mom passed away. My dad wanted to change in scenery and a bit of a change in, well, just everything after going through that. So I've been in BC now since I think it would have been 1989 or 1990. But I've kind of been all over though. I've been around Abbotsford, which is half an hour east of Vancouver pretty well, maybe 45 minutes. And then Chilliwack, which is a little bit farther east than that. Kelowna is another area that I lived in. Kamloops. Kamloops is... Yeah, I don't think I'd move back there again. I don't mind being there when I need to be, but I don't think I can live there again. And then... where else? Actually, I lived in a little town called Boston Bar, which I would have flown over in the sim here probably around 15-20 minutes ago. And that town is only a half an hour drive from that town of Lytton. That ended up burning on because of that forest fire that went through there on, yeah, around a month ago now. I think this is the ideal place for me though, because you don't get any snow in the wintertime, or if you do, it's very rare. It's maybe 1 or 2 days where we get a good dump, and then other than that, the rest of the time it's rain. And then for the most part, usually it's not too hot in the summertime, except for that 1 week where we got up to, I think we had a couple of days where we were up to 120 or something like that. I think when I looked, we were hotter than Phoenix was at. I mean, and right pretty about the same temperature as like Palm Springs and places like that, or La Quinta. And then even today we're almost back up to that point again too. I think we got up to where I am. I think we got up to 98 today. Yeah, last week when I was working up country, I was working around the town called Spence's Bridge, and we were actually trying to clean up a bunch of rotten, I mean, wood and stuff like that that would have been fuel for one of the fires. And when we were there picking it up or whatever, we were actually asked to be there by the BC Wildfire Service or whatever, and they were there. There was a couple guys there with us or whatever that were making sure that we were okay still when we were working there, that we weren't in a position where we needed to get out of there quick. But I actually had a picture that I have a picture on my phone that you could see the smoke and one of the fires burning like not even a half a kilometer from where we were working. And other than down here in the Fraser Valley and the lower mainland, where the skies are clear, everywhere else it was just smoke the whole week that I was gone, for the whole 7 days. And apparently it's like that still right now too, so I know when I go back to work on Tuesday, it's going to be the same thing again. It's just going to be a week of that. And the once while we were working, you can actually see all the ash and stuff falling on our trucks as well too. It was almost like big flakes of it. So where we were then, I didn't even get out of the truck. I stayed in it the whole day. And even that didn't really help a whole lot either, but it was better than getting out and actually breathing stuff right in. I mean, breathing it in anyways. Where did you visit when you were out here when you were younger? Uh, Victoria's a nice place. I actually haven't been over there for a long time. I think the last time I went to Victoria would have been 98 or 99 or something like that. So it's been over 20 years since I've taken the ferry over there. I work for, I won't tell you which one I work for, but I work for one of the railways up here. I could tell you because to me it's not a big deal, but I know for me it's not a big deal, but I know the company kind of doesn't want us to go around telling people who we work for unless we know them personally or, I mean, stuff like that, but you can pretty well guess though because there's only the two major ones anyways, or the two big ones. It's not like down in the States where you have a lot of railways down there. Like up here you got SRY, CP, CN. And I'm not sure, there might be one more, but I can't think of what it is now. There used to be the Quebec, Maine one or something like that, but CP bought that one out at the start of last year, I think, after they had that tanker train explode in that town in Quebec, Lac-Mégantic. No, I know you're not. I just want to be careful because I know there might be some people out there that might go a little nuts with it. I knew what you meant. Yeah, but there's only these three. I mean, these three railways. I mean, railways for sure that I know of. That actually, no, BNSF does come up into Vancouver as well too, but not very far though. I know it comes up to Vancouver, but I don't think BNSF goes east of there. And then other than that, I can't think of any other ones. There might be one or two, but I think there might be small ones though. But I'm only on the track maintenance side of things, though, so I'm the guy that's usually out there picking up scrap or laying out material for the crews to change rail and ties and stuff like that. So my job's nothing special. See if I can trim this out to start descending a little bit. Seattle's a nice spot too. I think the last time I'd been down to Seattle would have been in 2000. Yeah, it would have been summer 2000, I think was the last time I'd been down to Seattle. I've been wanting to go down and see a Mariners game and stuff like that, but every time I was going to, it never happened. And then right now, it's not possible, but I'm hoping to at some point here. But yeah, that'd be a good time to come up though, because at least then you're not that far away either. Like it's, what is Seattle to Vancouver? I mean, Vancouver, it's something like a 3-hour drive, I think, or something like that. I think Bellingham's around 30 minutes to 45 minutes or something like that, I think. Actually, Nevada's another place that I've been to down in the States, another state that I've been to just because I've been to Vegas a couple times. I think my dad actually had friends that lived in Belleville for a bit there too, but I don't know if they're there still or not. Olympia's nice. I've been to Olympia before. I think we'll get to a point where it's going to be possible to travel again. Like, I don't know if it's ever going to be completely gone. Like, I think we'll get to a point where we can travel again because I know they're talking about opening up the border here. I think it might have been August 9th or something I heard was the date. I think someone told me that last night, but I can't remember what it was for sure now though. But even then, you never know, it could get pushed back again for a little bit longer too, debating on what goes on in that time, but only time will tell anyways for that. But I know I was hoping that things would have cleared up a little bit more too, so I could have gone to Expo this year, but I'm not going to push my luck with trying to go to that though. Even though I'm fully vaccinated, but I don't feel comfortable taking that chance yet though either. That's what I need to do, tune in the walking VOR. That frequency is 113.0. was the last time you've been to Olympia? Yeah, it was nice being able to just go across the border with your driver's license until, well, 9/11 happened, and then we all needed a passport to go across. That's actually another thing I would have had to get done this year if I was going to go to Expos, get my passport renewed again, or get a new one, I mean. So I think that would probably stop me from going anyways, because I don't think I'd get that in time now with everything going on. But yeah, you're right, the last one we knew we were in serious shit. Because when the border closed or whatever because of all this. Because I think when all that happened, I think the border was closed for... I think it completely closed for like maybe a day or two, and then it was open again after that, and then they started coming out with new restrictions for needing to cross the border as far as having to get a passport and stuff like that. But yeah, when COVID hit and they closed the border down, that's when we knew we were in trouble. So where is it that you're from then now? I think you might have told me already earlier, but I can't remember for sure though. Actually, no, you didn't tell me. It was, I think it was Skipper Jeff that did actually. North Carolina, really? You must get some pretty good storms down there, I mean... How do you like it there? I've heard that it's nice, but I've never been there though, but I hear that it's a nice place to live though. Your passport expired probably shortly after I was born. I gotta travel more. I gotta go check out these places and see what they're like and stuff like that. Well, that's good that you like it there though, or that you love it there. Oh, just forgot. I switched too far. Fucked up. I gotta get back on course again because I missed it. Yeah, I was wondering what it was like for you guys as far as like when tropical storms and hurricanes come up over, I mean, across the East Coast and stuff, whether if you guys get hit very hard by them or not, but that's good that it doesn't, that you don't get them that often then. Oh yeah, that's right, I was going to start descending down. Might be a little bit high right now. Need to get down quick. What are the temperatures and stuff like there? Like, is it pretty humid and stuff, or is it fairly good in the summertime as far as temperatures go? Also, it's kind of like it is up here then, where normally we used to be able to predict it being maybe in the low 30s or high 20s as far as Celsius goes, but lately we've been getting up in the low to mid 40s and then back down again. 90s and 80s are tolerable. Anything higher than that, though, I can't. Probably sound like a wimp or whatever, but anything higher than that, like, well, even if it's in the low hundred, I mean, like hundreds or whatever, I'm fine with that too. But once I start getting up to like 105, 110, 115, then I'm done. I'm either in with air conditioning running all day, or even at work, I'm in the truck and never getting out. Like even today, it was up to 95 outside or 96. Well, actually, no, it got up to 98 where I am, and I was still fine with that. Yeah, I find lately I don't talk about Celsius that much anymore, just because I'll even at work too, like I'll be used for temperatures when we're working. It's always in Fahrenheit. Like as far as the way we work, our the way we do our figuring out as far as like how much rail you got to put in and stuff like that, it's always using Fahrenheit because you got to have it in a certain height to a certain temperature and stuff like that to allow for expansion and tension and stuff like that. So I've gotten used to just using Fahrenheit for the most part. I just every once in a while Celsius comes in again. Mid 60s are good for a little, especially at night, because at least you can go outside and kind of relax when it's cool like that too. The only thing I like about Celsius is the fact that when you hit zero, you get in, as soon as you start getting into the negatives, like -1, -2, then you know that's temperatures where you're gonna start seeing freezing or start seeing snow. But I mean, and then once you're above 0 degrees, usually it's just either rain or wet snow where it's not gonna stick to the ground and you're not gonna see ice or anything. But that's the only time that I look at Celsius and I think it makes any sense. Other than that, it's just like, well, it's like some people say you can't get precise with it because it's like with Fahrenheit you're more precise because you got a lot of the. I'm trying to think of how I can explain it. Like say for example, when you get up to like 120 degrees Fahrenheit, it's usually like 40. I think it's 44 degrees Fahrenheit, I mean Celsius, I think, but like it's when you get down to like, I mean, like say 119 degrees Fahrenheit, then it's like you're at like 43.7 or something instead. So I mean, it's just it's easier to be more precise with Fahrenheit, I think, than it is with Celsius. You can read all the meter until it gets to the temp. And then I'm clueless, yeah. Yeah, finer distinctions, that's the better way to put it. I think I remember somebody saying that one day too in one of the streams actually. Yeah, smaller units. I'm gonna pull the power right back. I'm way too high right now. Should have been down to probably down to like 3,000 feet by now. Yeah, that's true enough. Readability, if it didn't matter, there's a decimal point, but I can see where there might be times when it does matter. Like for me at work, for certain things we do, it does mean being having the smaller units, and I mean and having the finer discretions, like Peter Mooney says, it does make a difference for my job. But just in everyday life, whatever, as far as like knowing how warm it is when I'm gonna go camping or something, like 10 Celsius is fine. But for work, for sure, though, I mean, the finer decimal points, I mean, or the finer temperatures do make a difference, though, as far as what I do, anyways. We're all for the metric system in US. It's a decimal or as a point, or as a point. .6 miles to go. Then I'll make a turn to the heading of 21 degrees and by that I get up to the habits for DME and for NDB, and then make a turn to runway 7. Funny when you talk to real pilots after using Celsius down in the US though too. I mean, it's like it might have been off-skid descent, or it might have been somebody else. I can't remember for sure who it was, but I remember them saying like that's for them. It's like, I mean, actually no, it might have been Fly 787. Actually, it might have been Tom saying that once it was in his head, it's for some reason that's all he ever thought about afterwards too. It wasn't always, he never thought about Fahrenheit much anymore. Well, I missed my turn that I wanted to make. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh well, I'll do it this way. It's not like I'm on Batson or anything right now anyways. We'll fly around and cross the DOR at 21 degrees and fly the outbound at that as well too. Level out now too, actually. Just let it go up a little more. There we go. Actually, from here, I'll just do a visual anyways. Well, I ended up staying on longer than I thought I was going to. Now I'm seeing that I missed a lot of things too when I was flying before. Like I didn't go all rich. The mixture. Fuel pump's been on the whole time. I need to start using checklists. Now you have a flight to break your brain. You wish you could go all rich IRL. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? So what was the problem with your rudder pedals then that was causing that? I used the mouse pad. There we go. All right, there's our runway. Right there, runway 7. Yeah, screw it, autopilot's coming off now. Maybe a little early on the landing gear, but I'll probably forget if I didn't do it though. Reset everything to factory and it was fine. That's weird. That's one thing I had to do after this update came out, was I had to go in there and I had to change a bunch of stuff back because it kept trying to flick switches and stuff all out automatically for me and stuff like that. And I think it was that assistance thing too. For some reason, after the update, it's like it had a bunch of this stuff turned back on again that I turned off when I set it all to hard afterwards. Because even the mixture, like it was doing the mixture on its own as well too, where I wasn't having to even touch it. It just weird that all the lights just go off, except for the coach lights. Yeah, it'll come one day. I have a feeling we're not going to see a fix for the weather though until Sim update 6 or 7, when they're saying that the update was going to come out for that. Still a little high now, actually. God, there's no pappies for this runway. It's only runway 19 and 1, I think, that have pappies at this airport. Actually, runway 25 might also. Crap, I'm still going fast. And pull back. I'm not paying attention. I'm looking at everything else. It's going to be squirrely again because I'm... That was rough. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. That's the worst landing I've had in this in a while. Yeah, that was not butter. Good thing the landing rate didn't pop up for that one. I think I bounced it, actually, readability. But thank you, though. If you say it wasn't bad, I'll take that. You want to know what plane I can never get a landing good in? Is that 152 for some reason. In that Cessna 152, I'm always slamming it down. That plane, I think I have to be the worst in the sim. Actually, that and the Cub. That 152 and the Cub, for some reason in this, it's terrible. I can do all right in the Baron. In the Cessna 172, in the Skyhawk, I'm not bad, but that 152 though, I can never get it right for some reason. And every time I touch down too, kind of like how I did with this one, I'm always all over the place afterwards for some reason. It's like my controls are really sensitive when I touch down in that plane for some reason, where I can't keep it straight. I start skidding off the runway. Taxiing a little bit quick. You trained in the wire? I hear that's a good one to train in. One of my coworkers, that's what he was actually learning how to fly in, was the wire, actually. I think his grandpa has a share in one of the, in one or something like that, with like 4 other guys or something like that, where they split it. I still haven't gotten the wire for this sim yet. Actually, when it came out, I would have been away working, and I still haven't bought it yet. I might have to do that one day. Either... Oh, maybe I think when we find out for sure that everything's stable in the sim, I'll probably go ahead and buy it, so it doesn't piss me off if I try to fly it and end up getting a crash at desktop or something. Oh, if they come out with a scenery for Abbotsford at some point. Then maybe these guys will be facing the right way, the way you're actually supposed to park at this airport. I do like the Arrow though. I'm happy with this one so far anyways. Especially now that you got the package of the three of them. Alright. I'm not going to pay attention to doing this in any kind of real order or anything. I'm just going to shut it down and kind of be done with it tonight. It's already midnight now, so I think it's time to get to bed. Lights are off. Should have turned the alternator off already, but I didn't. Oh yeah, of course. Should have been off. There, now it's ready for the next time anyways. Didn't put the parking brake on yet either. The club you trained in had 152s for their trainers, but your CFI was bulky. I got ya. So the wire had more room in it then. Well, I'd imagine in the wire you probably have more leg room too than you do in the 152 also, wouldn't you? Because I heard the 152 might be all right for somebody that's 6 foot tall, but I heard anybody over 6 feet though would probably struggle being in that plane if that's right. I'm 6'5", so I don't know if I'd be able to fit in one. If I couldn't fit in that, I'd probably be looking to try to fly in a wire or something too. Then I'd imagine if it's got more leg room. I think I remember Bill Ferrelli was flying 172 in one of his. He was showing the flight in one of his streams, and I think he said that the 172 was just enough room for him. And I think he's around 6 feet tall or just over 6 feet. But I think he said the 152 there would be no room for him at all in it though. But anyways, this is gonna be it for me tonight. Thanks for stopping by, you guys. I wasn't expecting to have anybody come in just for doing a test like this and making sure everything was good to go and stuff like that. Still, even though I know there's still issues with this sim right now as far as weather and stuff goes, but as long as my frames are holding out and I can stream this and I don't have a crashed desktop, I'm happy anyways as far as that goes for now. Yeah, it's the same for me too. The keybind is broken for the parking brake also, so that's why I had to use the mouse there to do it. It'll allow me to put the parking brake on, but it won't let me release the parking brake. But I'm not sure if that's going to be something that I think that's going to be something that Just Flight's going to probably end up fixing with their next update for this, though, because I think in the other planes it's fine still, but in the Arrow it's got its issues though. But thank you for coming by, Peter Mooney. Thank you for coming by to Readability. Good night, you guys. And I know Dragon 40th is gone, but thanks for the tier 1 sub again for 3 months or Dragon 40th if you end up seeing this or hearing this. And thanks for coming by as well too, Mustafa. And if you're here still, and Austin earlier too. Who I know left because he was ready to get to bed because I think he lives in the central time zone there, so it would have been late for him. But I will go to the stream ending screen and I will try to find somebody to raid. And that's how you guys came in. You know what? I haven't raided Two-Face Disc yet. Maybe we'll raid him. I haven't really shown him much in the way of support or anything other than, well, being in the stream there once in a while and stuff like that. But yeah, you'll see me Sunday. Sunday, Peter Mooney. I'll be flying along, even with it being in DeLorean stream. I'll still join. I think I just heard something click off here. But yeah, I'll join. I'll make sure I'm there. I wasn't sure if I was going to or not because I know he has the sound commands and stuff that kind of drive nuts and things like that. But I'll be there though. There we go. Two-Face disc. Two-Face disc 799. Yeah, it'll be a blast. I mean, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of the regular people there too and stuff like that. So it should be. I mean, I'm hoping it'll be just as good, and I'm sure it'll be just as good. I'm sure DeLorean will do a good job of hosting it too and stuff like that. And Amy Ann will be there to keep everybody in line too. All right, going to do it this way actually, so I can. Not really set up for anything tonight. All right. All right. The raid started. I don't know how much longer he's going to be on for because I know he's been streaming for a few hours now, but we'll say hi to him and we'll see you all either tonight or this afternoon sometime or Sunday afternoon. But have a good night, guys. Thanks for coming by again. Yeah, and Amy Ann will keep it between the lines. Sometimes you got to keep her between the lines too. Oh, I've already made a comment too about having to turn off the commands and stuff like that, so I'm hoping I'm sure he will. But anyways, we'll see you later, guys.
And of course, an AI Mustang is gonna sneak in front of us, cause
he's been chasing him.
Oh god.
You're gonna have another 2 Mustangs coming in behind
Yep.
you.
I don't like this. Let's go ahead. Let's cut right. You said